Probably one of the best entertainers of his era. His show was basically so informative towards people seeking out a better path in life. He became an overnight sensation. The amazing Kreskin, as dead at 89, according to CBC's Kevin Mayman. A former manager says George Joseph Kresge Jr., his real name, died in his New Jersey home on Tuesday. Now, he was considered one of the best mentalists and mentalist entertainers who captivated generations of TV audiences. Had his own regular TV show in Canada, which did Gangbusters. Kreskin's friend and former road manager Ryan Galloway told news outlets that Kreskin died Tuesday again in Caldwell. Galloway did not provide additional details, but wrote in a post on LinkedIn that he was beyond heartbroken. I know you know what I'm still thinking, he wrote. Galloway said Kreskin was known for his extraordinary mind-reading abilities and captivating performances, and his uncanny ability to predict complex events, including multiple Super Bowl outcomes and presidential election results. A post announcing Kreskin's death on its official X page Tuesday evening read, "Performing for all of you brought immense joy to his life. It was something he deeply cherished." It followed with a reply saying, "As Kreskin always said at the close of his shows, this is not goodbye, but to be continued." In a later post, the X account said there are 10 more days until his retirement, referencing mid-2010's interviews in which Kreskin said he would not retire until 10 days after he dies. Kreskin launched his TV career in the 60s and remained popular for decades, making regular guest appearances on talk shows hosted by everyone from Merv Griffin to Johnny Carson to Jimmy Fallon. TV columnist and podcaster Bill Buru says Kreskin was the perfect late-night TV guest, always leaving audiences amazed. They were on the edge of their seats, leaning in, and he just delivered every time, he said, describing Kreskin as a good-natured guy who seemed like he could be your neighbor. He didn't wear a crazy suit or anything. He was just himself. He just seemed very fond and humble, non-threatening, but he knew the future. Now, a lot of people thought he was from Canada, but he wasn't. The reason why he thought he was from Canada, because he spent most of his early career in our nation. His show, The Amazing World of Kreskin, was broadcast across Canada and syndicated in the States in the 1970s. Brew recalls Canadian comedian Jim Carrey impersonating Kreskin early stand-up comedy career, emphasizing how well-known the mentalist was across the country. Now, Daniel Paulet, a Canadian mentalist, magician, escape artist who performs as Danny Z, or Zez, remembers being inspired as a kid watching Kreskin on TV. When we grew up in the 70s, we were looking on the TV. We're locked on the TV. All of us were laying on our bellies with our fists under our chins, staring at the television, and we couldn't believe what was happening, he noted. Paulin said he has old Kreskin ESP board game from childhood. It was a game made in the 60s. It was supposed to help players test and develop their own ESP skills. And he popularized the term ESP more than that Star Trek episode. Paulin said he always appreciated how Kreskin interacted with the audience and how he referred to himself as an entertainer rather than implying he had talents that were unreachable for other people. Kreskin also often stressed he was not a psychic, mind reader, or hypnotist, but that he used body language cues and the power of suggestion to guide people's actions. When we look at all the greats that are performing now, I think we can all agree that nobody has done it or will ever do it like Kreskin did, Paulin said. Some of Kreskin's favorite crowd-pleasing mind tricks include correctly guessing a playing card chosen at random, or most famously, divining where his paycheck had been planted among the audience, and if he couldn't find it, he wasn't going to get paid. Sometimes the checks were found in absurd places like the stuffing of a turkey or inside a man's mouth. If he could not find his paycheck, he said he would forego payment for the show. Kreskin also began offering $1 million US to anyone he could prove he used secret assistants or hidden devices. Mentalist Ryan Edwards, who got up on stage with him at a Kreskin performance in Ontario more than a decade ago, called the late entertainer a legend. He was one of the giants, Edwards said. Kreskin also gave live performances, wrote numerous books, including Secrets of the Amazing Kreskin and Mental Power is Real. Now, I use the term mentalist because what I do deals with how people think. He said in a 2009 radio interview with CBC, "It isn't a magic act. The essence of what I do is capturing the mind." Although he's a regular on talk shows, American radio personality Art Bell banned the performer from the show after a 2002 UFO stunt. Kreskin claimed that a UFO would appear over Las Vegas on the night of June 2nd and added that he would donate $50,000 US to charity if he was wrong. Hundreds of people gathered in the desert in vain. Kreskin said he coaxed the crowd outside to make a point about how susceptible people are to manipulation. After the events unfolding since September 11, 2001, made him realize that mind control could be used on the masses for nefarious purposes. I planted a seed, he told the Las Vegas Sun. Imagine how a person, especially today with mass communication, a person who would cause people to talk about it and spread it. I'm ready to go on national TV to get 1 million people to act within 90 seconds. God forbid a person doing it for half an hour. Kreskin once said in a video for online forum Big Think that it's still possible to perceive other people's thoughts under right conditions with concentration. But it was becoming more difficult in recent years as people got hooked on modern technology, he said, lamenting that people are distracted by their cell phones even when they are with other people. We need to listen to silence and not be afraid of it, he said. And there are people who have reached a point where they are afraid of silence. A post on Kreskin's Facebook page shared that Christmas was his favorite time of year, and he loved decorating his house and hosting parties. In 2020, Kreskin spoke with CBC about his tradition of sending out 2,000 Christmas cards every year, including to reporters who had interviewed him years ago. When asked why he kept sending the cards, he told former CBC producer Ken Hoffman, because I love the holidays and the people are different ways have touched my life, as you have. I don't forget people. I really don't. And the CBC was somebody's favorite Christmas card givers, because a lot of the journalists I have dealt with CBC have noted they're always on the list. Now, if you have a chance, ladies and gentlemen, his Wikipedia is very strange. It was originally called Amazing Kreskin, but now it's just Kreskin. Now, he passed away in Wayne, New Jersey, and he was active again for a total of 60 years. Now, his website archive is amazingkreskin.com, and started off on Steve Allen 1964. Again, the rest is history. Now, the TV show that was on in Canada, again, was one of the big syndication hits of the 1970s and opened the door for a lot of Canadian syndicated shows through the years. Now, he went on to appear 100 times on each of the Mike Douglas Show, the Merv Griffin Show, Live with Regis and Kathie Lee, and 88 times on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It was Carson who dubbed Kreskin the Amazing Kreskin. Kreskin claimed that his appearance on the Steve Allen Show, during which he tripped when blinded by straight lights, inspired Carson's Karnak the Magnificent character. Now, in the 80s and 90s, he came to prominence again with appearances on Late Night with David Letterman and The Howard Stern Show. And in 2009, he became the first guest to make 4 appearances on Jimmy Fallon. Now, he wouldn't fail very often in his predictions and stuff like that, but we weren't seeing him for anything but a good man. Now, Kreskin, according to published reports, died from complications of dementia at an assisted living facility in Wayne, again on December 10th. So he will greatly, greatly be missed. Now, the idea of the Amazing Kreskin show, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it's ever been shown on DVD, but just to remember everybody, or make everybody remember, from 72 to 75, Kreskin's TV series, The Amazing World of Kreskins, was broadcast throughout Canada on CTV and put on syndication in the United States. Produced in Ottawa at CJOH Studios, additional set of episodes were produced from 75 to 77 at CFTO in Toronto, billed as the new Kreskin show. So again, the greatest Canadian TV star who was not Canadian, in my personal opinion, besides Joe Flaherty and Andrew Martin. So ladies and gentlemen, the Amazing Kreskin, my God, we're going to miss you, brother. And wherever you are, we're sending good thoughts. Have a good one.